Was good, yeah. So right over here we have both banners, which is obviously on the left side the Arrogance Lust banner and on the right side the Silas Vierna banner. And let's just go over the banners real quick just so we're on the same page. So the Lust banner is a 10x for Lust and Arrogance, as well as only being 4 blues only, as well as having 250 summons guarantee you a Lust. On the other hand, we have the Silas Vierna banner, which is a 10x for Silas and Vierna, as well as a 10x for Blues and Divines. So the simple difference is we have a guarantee on the left side and a 10x for Divines too on the right side. Furthermore, Lust's banner starts on Wednesday and Silas banner only, or Silas Vierna banner only starts on Friday, so there's a difference of 2 days in between the banners. For this summoning session over here, there's a very simple rule. If you already have Silas and Vierna, you should definitely summon for Lust and Arrogance, especially considering the fact that Lust is a limited time unit, so probably the next time you're going to see it is going to be next year on Valentine's Day, which is pretty far away. And furthermore, we obviously are going to see quite a bit of new content, mainly the possibility of heightened AMR as well as Gear Dungeon being somehow related to fighters. So fighters are going to get more prominence, and in general Lust has a very unique attack range, which is pretty much the same as a Dolores range, but just on a field tile. And in general she's a very strong character, and she has a lot of potential from her kit, from her multipliers, the way she works, to be useful in a lot of content, even content that might just come out in 2 or 3 months, and by that time Lust isn't going to be available anymore. So if it's very simple, if you already have Silas and Vierna, definitely go for the Lust banner. But if you don't have Silas and Vierna, that is a decision you need to make for your own account. The impact a Silas gets through a Vierna is really big. The impact a Silas can have on your account is really not to be underestimated. He is really strong. And if you want to see exactly how strong the bond skills in general, feel free to check out my earlier video in regards to the bond skills of all 4 characters right here. But the important part is Silas is really strong. And for most accounts, at least when it comes to simple progression, not just game boss or like end game content, but when it comes to progression, be it gear rate 3, the most important gear rate in the game, or in general content where it comes to bursting down bosses, overall Silas is just by himself, if you have a Vierna, way more effective at helping you than an Arrogance or Lust ever would. And also the biggest problem is in this game, platform units are most of the time in an advantage when it comes to content, because most content is either, be it marksman, fighters, wherever focused. And for fighters to really work, you do kind of need a stage that is really built towards fighters. We don't really have a lot of hybrid stages, and even with hybrid stages, fighters can attack, or pretty much marksman can attack both air and ground. Not all fighters can attack air, and fighters can die because units are just going to attack them if they need to go past them, as well as platform units being safe, besides obviously ranged units hitting them. So in general, platform units are slightly stronger than ground units, especially Lust, who doesn't hit air. So that's just for Lust there. And yeah, when it just comes to straight up progression, you really gotta figure out for your own account, is it worth it? Should I really go for Lust and Arrogance, who are super strong? And for example, I'll definitely go for them. But should I go for them, or should I try to further my account? So what you gotta keep in mind here is, even if you pull on Silas and Vierna banner, obviously I don't have the real rates here, but it's going to be probably close to maximum 20% for both. So a chance of, again, 40%. And also, if you already have a Vierna, nothing states that you, just because you have a Vierna, will get a Silas instead of an extra Vierna. So definitely keep that in mind. But in general, Lust is exclusive. Lust is going to help Arrogance out. And Lusk is a very strong character that is only going to get stronger with time. Now for the second part, let's have a look first at how to handle your pity. So now that we have an exclusive event again, which gives us 250 summons to guarantee a unit, let's have a look at 2 examples first. So we are going to, in both examples, start at pity 0 and then summon 220 times, which is going to give us hard pity. And that hard pity happens to be lust. Even though the chance is also, again, only around 20% to actually be lust, there is a chance that when you go to pity on lust banner, you're actually going to get lust. And if you get lust, the 250 guarantee is going to disappear and you're not going to get an additional legendary. So how can you harvest or make use of that additional legendary? Let's have a look at example number 2. You're going to summon 190 times. So you're already getting into hard pity. So your chance is going to increase with every summon you do to get a legendary. And at that time, you're going to swap banners. So what you're going to do is that is only possible on Friday. So the second example is only possible on Friday, and every one of those examples at the top is going to be Wednesday, because there's going to be not a separate banner next to lust and arrogance. So in the second example, instead of doing 220 summons and hitting pity on the lust and arrogance banner, you're going to swap the banner to the Silas and Fiona banner, do 30 more summons, and then hit any legendary, obviously not guaranteed who, but it isn't going to be lust, because lust is not included in the Silas and Fiona banner. So without any chance are you going to obviously get a lust. So you're going to get an additional legendary, that one legendary from your pity, swap back to the lust banner, do 30 summons, and get a guaranteed lust that then proceeds to reset your pity back to 0. So yeah, even the 250 guarantee that you collect is going to reset your pity. So there's obviously some more nuanced stuff when it comes to gouging your pity and trying to do as few summons as possible and then get lust and then again go all out in summons. So the important part here to know is, if you're just aiming for a single copy of lust, it might be for the best to summon on Friday just to take out the chance that you're actually going to get a lust and have your 250 summon guarantee disappear. If you're aiming for multiple copies of lust or specifically for arrogance, I would still recommend staying on the lust banner and going hard there, because if you're looking for multiple copies of lust, getting lust before the 250 guarantee is obviously better, because you're then going to save more summons. You can invest into the banner again to then get more copies of lust, and also that guarantee on the lust banner could very well be an arrogance. So that is how you're going to handle pity, and based on that, every one of you guys should decide, are you going to summon on Wednesday, which is going to be the big excitement, the first day she releases? Are you going to try her out instantly, or do you have the patience to wait for Friday? Do you have the need for Silas Viana? So that is all I wanted to give you on the way. If you've enjoyed this video, obviously stay tuned for, again, I'm probably going to do a bit more of a breakdown of how helpful are going to be Silas Viana for your account, arrogance, lust for your account, and also obviously a general review. What does lust even do? How impactful is she even at her max? And trust me, that one is going to be released at least before we get the banner. So as always, if you've enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's beat Destined War and race away from him. We see each other in the next one.